Big O Show. This is the 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 Big O Show.
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, cuttersedgepro.com does some amazing stuff, and they're the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. You gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. cuttersedgepro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in the corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you can get some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines. If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Oh, Lordy. Lordy. I wasn't ready to panic. I wasn't ready to be concerned. But now I am full-fledged ready to be absolutely very concerned. See, when you're up 3-0, it's an insurmountable lead, right? And that's the difference. When you're up 3-0, it win 4 straight. Dude, this is going to be tough. When you're up 3-1, it still sounds and feels insurmountable because it's really tough. Now it's 3-2. Now it changes completely. Your mindset no longer, if you're the Celtics, is, oh, we've got to win 4. No, we've only got to win 2 now. And they're playing the better basketball right now. That's what's going on. And they can't, and the Heat can't do anything about it. And I don't know if Gabe Vincent makes the difference. Strus didn't show up today. Lowry, 5 points, 4 turnovers. Bam, nothing. I mean, he picked up some Ryan Tannehill stats there at the end and got some cheap baskets. But, you know, outside of that, it wasn't really – nobody really – Caleb did all right. Didn't shoot a great percentage, but he did all right. And Duncan Robinson, by the way, holy shit. 18 points, 9 assists, 3 rebounds. And Highsmith also, like, we got Sean and myself. We got to be around Highsmith a little bit in the Vegas Summer League when he's around all those other guys, and his maturity is beyond, like, at another level. So it was really nice. 6 of 9 shooting, 3 of 4 from 3-point range, some good defense, 2 rebounds, 2 steals, 15 points. Really like what I saw from Highsmith. I got to say, it's like one of the him and Duncan, like I am, you know, I know this is a night where we're going to be so depressed about the Heat losing and they're in a bad position, and we'll get to that. But I got to at least give Duncan a little love. He's made himself more of a basketball player now. He's not simply just a 3-point shooter anymore. So I got to give him some love. Dude, he had 9 assists today. I mean, he had 3 rebounds. This guy's actually, you know, really improved his trade value for the offseason. So, anyway, just this is now you're in a really tough situation because look, okay, man, you want to go listen to Homer shows and all that stuff, you go ahead. I am a hometown guy. I root for all my hometown teams. There's no doubt about that. I want them to win and I enjoy it. But I'm also always going to I keep it as real as possible. And let's also be real. The Celtics are a better team than the Heat. They played like dog shit, and Miami took advantage of it, and they took this fat-ass lead. But if the Celtics want to play like they're playing right now, then, you know, there's no reason Miami should win. Let's be honest. There's no reason. Miami is not a better team than the Celtics. They just have the upper hand right now, and they've got to try to find a way to finish it off. And that's it. Listen, the story of these last 4 years is immeasurable. It is phenomenal. It is fantastic. Do you want big picture? You know, I tell you all the time, macro, not micro. Right now, micro, the moment we're in right now, we feel like shit. But if we're really deep down inside honest with ourselves, every one of us in the Heat Nation, if I tell you 4 years ago during the Jimmy Butler run that he's the only star on the team for 4 freaking years, and I tell you he and Eric Spoelstra go to 3 out of 4 Eastern Conference finals, and they go to the NBA finals twice if they can get out of this, you would have told me you're out of your mind. You would have told me, are you crazy? There's no way that happens. Only Jimmy Butler? I thought, because 4 years ago we're thinking, okay, they got to make a move for that other star. And they could never make it. They could never get the other star. We got a dud in Lowry, right? So you look at it and, okay, there's nothing there. And if I tell you that 4 years ago when you signed Butler, you would have called me a nutbag, you're out of your mind, you would have been a homer, I wouldn't believe it myself. So let's be honest and deep down inside honest with ourselves. The Miami Heat have done a phenomenal job with what they gave Eric Spoelstra. I'm not telling you that Riley and the front office did a phenomenal job. There's a lot of shit that I can take shots at. Okay? But I got to say, Jimmy Butler and Eric Spoelstra, considering what they have and considering the terrible decision Jimmy Butler made of bringing Lowry here to get to 3 out of 4 years, Eastern Conference, and if they can somehow win one more, get to the NBA Finals, whether they get there or not, absolutely phenomenal run. Now, let's understand what's going on here if you want to really, be honest with yourself again. This is a really adorable story. They are the overachievers. They're not contenders. They're overachievers. They've been overachievers for 4 years. That's who you are. Who is your leader? Jimmy Butler, the ultimate overachiever. The guy that has manufactured himself into a star. He wasn't Patrick Ewing. He's not Alonzo Mourning. He's not LeBron James. He's not Moses Malone. He's not Wembayama. Those guys that got all the hype from when they were young all the way through. Nobody knew who Jimmy Butler was, even when he was drafted. Jimmy Butler had to make you know who his name is. That's how badass he is. A lot of these other guys, they were already marketed. They were already stars from where they were young. Everybody knew him. You know what I mean? So this is who you are. This is the image you have of your team. The guy that leads you, the overachiever. That's who you've been for 4 years, man. Now, you want to get out of this rut? Well, you got a bad contract with Lowry, right? 20, I tweeted out today, 28.4, whatever it is. Duncan is 18.1. And Tyler Hero's, whatever, 20-something. Those are your terrible decisions right there. That's a lot of freaking money, bro. That's like $70 million tied up, and you didn't get a star out of it. So in a real world, okay, let me bring you all down, some of you to reality. In a real world, you have Jimmy Butler, that 50, 70, 60, $70 million that you have tied up in those three guys. I know it's not easy to get rid of them to bring in, but in a perfect world, you use that money for a star. And then Caleb is your third guy, and Bam is part of the role players. That's the perfect world. Okay? Bam's not a 1 or a 2, or I'd rather have Caleb as my 3, to be quite honest. Offensively in this league, I need that. Bam's the all-star role player. He's a super, I call him a super, because he's not just a role player. He's a super role player because he plays all over the place. But offensively, he shows you all the time. And by the way, kudos to the national media. Some of you Heat fans haven't caught up, but kudos to the national media, how they're finally on the broadcast. Well, Bam, he starts off, but then he tires out, and seems like somebody finally woke those guys up. Yeah, and he's he's a phenomenal young man. He's a multifaceted player. Bam is fantastic. I was telling the guy, "Oh, you got to trade Bam." No, you don't. You don't have to trade Bam. Bam's not the problem. Bam can be part of your solution. Just don't use him as a star, an offensive anchor. It's not what he is. He's one of the best support players you can ever get. is what he is. But he's not a offensive threat. Just doesn't have it. That's all. He doesn't stroke it on a consistent basis. He can't drive on it. Now, if you want to, the little pick and roll, the little, alley-oop, you want to play that game with him and manufacture the offense out of everybody else. Don't you notice that his offense isn't as good when everybody else's offense isn't good? Because his offense is fed off of everybody else's offense. It's kind of the way it is. Stars are the engine, and everybody else is the cogs. That's not Bam Adebayo. Do you understand that, right? Okay? Nobody doubles Bam Adebayo. So, in a perfect world, all that money that you have tied up in Lowry, in Robinson, and in Tyler Hero, none of them are stars. You ruined all that cap space. That cap space has to go to a star. And then Caleb's the guy you found that perfect number 3. He can develop into a number 3. And then Bam, along with whatever role players you have left over that you put together. And that's how you really become a contender, actually. To be quite honest, that's how you become a contender. Because now you have the ball when Butler isn't on. What happens, bro? Last 2 games, Butler hasn't been himself, right? So then what happened? Where's the other star? Where's the other guy that says, I'm going to score 30 tonight? And then you're asking a whole bunch of guys that, it's too much to ask. It just really is. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. I'm going to go over your questions now in 1 second, but just going, over the team stats from tonight in the game. 110-97. Love had 6 points on 3 of 7 shooting. Butler 14 points on 5 of 10 shooting. He had 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers. Bam had 16 points on 8 of 15 shooting. You need 15 shots to get 16 points. That's not efficient. Plus, he had 6 turnovers in the game. He had 8 rebounds. He had 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block. So he did fill the stat sheet up in other areas, but he definitely was not good enough. Kyle Lowry was just a flat-out stinko. 30 minutes, 5 points, 2 of 5 shooting, 4 turnovers for Kyle Lowry. Max Strus, 1 of 5 shooting. Didn't I tell you today? Tonight is on the role players. The pressure is on the role players. Those guys have to step up. Did Bam step up? No. Did Lowry step up? No. Did Strus step up? No. Duncan Robinson, he stepped up. Caleb Martin, he stepped up. The other guys did not. And luckily that, Highsmith got garbage points in the second half, but I got to give him love. Guy played well. And then credit the Celtics. They're playing up to their talent finally, dude. Tatum had 21 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds. Smart had 23 points, shot 4 of 6 from three-point range, key threes, and he kept burying them. White was lights out, 6 of 8 from three-point range, 24 points. Brown had 21 points, was aggressive, taking it to the hoop. They just outplayed the Miami Heat. They played to their talent. That's it. What more can you say? They outshot the Heat. The Heat shot 39% from three-point range. Boston 41. They both shot right around 50%. Free throws, Miami only made 8 of them. That's the problem. They had a good percentage, but Boston made 14. So just a game where it wasn't a game for a long time, put it that way. An ugly-ass game. But a game that if you look deep down inside, they've maxed out who they are. And if they get past this, they're going to get thumped by Denver. They've got no shot unless there's injuries or bad luck for Denver. That's the only way. Outside of that, they have no shot against Denver. 0. Let's be honest. Let's see. Ray says, this is terrible. The Heat gave complete hope to the Celtics, and now I would not be surprised if the Heat blow a 3-0 lead. Well, let me tell you something. If they do that, they're the first. 150-0 is that stat. You don't want to be the one out of that. True Fin Fan, thank you for the love on the super chat. He says, the better team has awoken. We're in trouble. Yeah, we have to feel that way now after this one. Let me tell you something, just to go off of your point there, True Fin Fan. If they play their asses off tonight and play a great game and Boston ekes out a point or two win or 3 points, then I don't feel bad. I said, okay, they came back after the loss to Boston and they played a hell of a game in Boston. They were desperate, but they had them right there to the end and they lost. Now you can come back to Miami, feel good about yourself. Now you're demoralized. I don't know how those guys are going to respond to this. Jimmy Butler has not played good the last 2 games. Your star has not been a star in the last 2 games. So now I'm supposed to expect a complete turnaround? Why? Why would I? And that's the part that's troubling. And you know it's over if they lose on Saturday. It's over. They're not winning in Boston. They have lost Game 7 if they lose Game 6. I just don't see them coming back like that. They need the break of all breaks. And, you know, they've had enough breaks already in these playoffs, and they've taken advantage of them. God bless them. Be honest with yourself. In 4 years, they have maxed out. Every year, pretty much, they've maxed out. Okay? Last year, they were a shot away from it. This year, they're right there. I don't know what more you can ask from a team with only 1 star. Musa Hamadeh. Sit Lowry next to UD and play Highsmith. Pathetic. Blame Jimmy Butler. He wanted to bring his buddy here. He screwed himself. I didn't forget that Gabe Vincent didn't play tonight, Jermaine. Is that really what you think is the difference? Did you watch the game? Come on, man. Come on, dude. You know, that's don't be you know what? Here, don't be this.
Blind ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind ass fan coming through.
Yeah. Gabe Vincent would have changed the entire complexion of the whole thing. You know, I love it. Come on, man. Anyway, it's a rough one, ladies and gentlemen. It just is. It sucks. But now you have given life to the Celtics, and we'll see what they do with that. But right now, the Heat, this is the game that's going to be the character check of all character checks right here. And if they don't get it done, Hateful Steve chimes in, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. He says, Heat are absolute #trash. Well, that's what the fans are saying right now about the Miami Heat. Eddie Lepp says, all that Jimmy has done here will be forgotten, though. If he blows this series lead, he'll be remembered for choking it away. I'm not going to do that, Eddie. I'm not doing that to him. That guy's done he's overachieved. He's killed himself. He doesn't have a Verhaeghe. That's what I keep telling you guys. There's no Sam Bennett here. There's no Reinhardt here, dude. There's no Barkov here. There just isn't. Why do you think I told you over a month ago, before these playoffs started, I said, you know, I have a lot more hope for the Panthers than I do the Heat. I think the Panthers are for real. The Heat, I think it's a novelty. They're overachievers, a whole bunch of undrafted players with 1 star, and, you know, Bam, who's a super role player, but some of you want to sell your bullshit that he's a star, or the Heat sell you that and you've bought it. And I love the Heat organization to death. They're fantastic. I think they've done an awesome job in 4 years. I think Eric Spoelstra should be given a million gold medals. In fact, if I'm Mickey Arison, I would give him $10 million in Bitcoin, because it'll grow to $100 million for him, and he and his family can be taken care of forever. So there you go. That's what I would do. I think they've done an amazing job, Eddie. I'm not doing that to Jimmy Butler, even if they lose this series. That man has killed himself, man. He's done everything, and he's gotten pretty much to the pinnacle that you can get with this team. Tonight, he needed help, and there's no Verhage to be found. Where's Sam Bennett rocking somebody's balls and knocking them down to their sock? Where? Where is it? I don't see it. You know what I mean? I don't see when I see Duclair and Montour and Lomberg and I just see brother, I see talent coming through. I see a different team when I see the Panthers and when I see the Heat. When I see the Heat, it's a novelty. It's cutesy. It's a nice story. It makes me feel good because it's the little train that could, or what's that story or whatever, the little whatever that could, or I forgot what it is, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. When I look at the Panthers, I look at a team that really didn't have a good year because of the injuries, because of the new system, because the goaltender had not found his way for 4 years, and all of a sudden everything's come together, and the goaltender's finally playing up to his talent, but the guys in front of him are just, Kachuk he's not Jimmy Butler. He's way better than Jimmy Butler. He's like a superstar in basketball. Like he's in if it's in the NBA, he's one of the 5 best players in the NBA. Jimmy Butler's not one of the 5 best players in the NBA. This guy is just a flat out nasty mofo. It's a different team, man. It's a different feel when I look at the Panthers and a different feel when I look at the Heat. I enjoy both runs. They've been fantastic. They've been, surprising, obviously, because we didn't expect it from either one. But as it's developed, what's real and what's Memorex? That commercial, okay, for you youngins that don't know, I'm sorry, you're going to have to look it up on YouTube. But Panthers are real. The Heat, unfortunately, I hate to say it, they're Memorex.